And so we're back
And we're back.
yes, with another episode of the Collision Cast.
First try.
Yes, this is our first attempt recording this.
I didn't forget to plug in the mic or anything.
I forgot to plug in the mic. Let's be real. So hey, how you doing, man?
I'm good.
I'm here today with Brandon. My name's Andrew, as always. I hope my name's Andrew, as always, at least.
Yes.
If it's been changed, someone should let me know. But anyways, we are here today to discuss one thing that we've been doing in the background, but mostly this episode's just going to be us talking and
Bullshitting.
and bullshitting. Yeah.
Oh,
It's been 30 seconds. We're good.
we're good.
We're good.
Okay.
We're good. All right, sweet. Or yeah, you can always just
Oh,
use
beep
the
it.
bleep.
That's the beep.
That's the beep. So, we've been wanting to stream because
Yes.
I really want to stream. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yes.
And you and I are probably going to play some games together on the Collision Cast Twitch, which
Okay.
and I would also play with Josh. Any of you guys can play together when you want, however you want to do it.
Yeah.
Because essentially, I think the best way to do it is to have us all congregate under one stream and then maybe set a schedule for each person. If we all get our own fans, that hopefully
For sure, yeah, we can branch out after the
we
fact.
can branch out after the fact.
Yeah.
So with all that being said, the plan is to do the Twitch stream, VOD it, record it as we go along, and then put it on to
Yeah, I could take the highlights out and
take the highlights out,
make that into videos.
make that into videos, and then make the VODs its own channel, and then
Yeah.
hopefully some shorts.
For
'Cause
sure.
it seems to be pretty much the standard for how to get successful on YouTube these days.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I brought up a game that I want to play with you, and that's Mega Man Battle Network.
Absolutely.
So,
Yes.
do you know I know you know a lot about Mega Man.
I love
itself.
Mega Man.
Okay, so in this world, they're not robots.
Okay.
They're pets, which
They're
are
like digital, right?
Yes, they're
Yes.
digital.
I remember that there was a cartoon, right?
Yes,
Saturday
there
morning?
was the Battle
Yeah.
Network Cartoon
Yeah.
Network. It was pretty decent.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty decent.
it was alright.
It was alright. It's not Sonic X worthy or anything. I remember Sonic X being so good, so I hope it actually still is.
Yeah. Hopefully.
So yeah, and Mega Man Battle Network, they essentially exist on the internet, but it's the internet as it was envisioned in the 1990s. So it's so wacky and cool.
Yeah, super 90s.
Yeah, super 90s. It's a good game. It's a really good game. And you use chips instead of getting the powers and stuff. And
Yeah.
you can use these different chips in a combat style. And it's a 9 grid against another 9 grid.
Okay.
And you can move freely on that 9 grid and fire your blaster and stuff. And then you have your powers and stuff that come in once every 10 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a really good game.
I'm down.
Yeah,
I'm
it's one of my favorite.
I'm super down to play like retro games and
Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
play a lot of retro games, especially because we have that retro look and feel to our game.
100%.
Which, speaking of, it's one thing I probably should mention. We have posters now that are going into stores in the area.
absolutely.
We've been talking to a bunch of people,
Yes.
and we've gotten nothing but yeses. Very positive feedback.
Oh yeah.
The majority of the people I've managed to talk to, literally, they don't even see the deck of cards
They just see the
before they say
art?
yes.
Did you see the art or what?
Some of them haven't even made it that far. We tell
I'm just
them
like, yes, dude, please.
no, it's
Save
like,
us.
It's like we tell them our story,
Okay.
and like we talk about our game, and they see the passion, and they're like, "Yeah, we're totally down," because they're basically like,
Nerds recognize nerds.
"Yes, exactly." One of the places we went to, the gentleman basically said, "This is how I started, and I'd love to see somebody else
Hell yeah.
make it that way."
That's dope.
And then he explained like, oh yeah, I own this comic book store, but I also own this bar over here, and I own this over
Yeah.
here, and I was like, oh, so
Yeah. Started
feel
from the
about
bottom,
advertising?
and now he's there. You know.
So I think our first major publicity stunt should be to just give out a bunch of free stickers,
Okay.
just to anyone who will take them,
Yeah.
to give them away for us
With the
'cause,
website and all
yeah.
the social medias and whatnot. on
Yeah,
them.
exactly.
Like, what's this dope thing?
Exactly.
Check it out real quick.
Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe the poster.
Or even like, once you get bigger, once like the app is done, just have like the QR code for the app. You just scan it and then it just takes them right to the app. That'd be sick.
That was Jess's idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jess's idea was to do that. Her and I talked about that a couple days ago, and I more or less had the same idea. Basically, just put a QR code, get it to the back, or get it to the website.
Mm-hmm.
But I have really liked the stealth type of thing that we've had going on because of the interactions that it has created.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, given that we have like another month before we really, really need people to be
Hit the
seeing
ball
us.
rolling. Yeah.
Well,
Hit the
this
ball roll-
is the hit the ball rolling time.
Hit the ground running.
Because if we can establish ourselves as a brick and mortar card game that sells here in Orlando, we as a company can attempt to become self-sufficient. If we establish ourselves as an online game that is self-sufficient, we also become self-sufficient.
Yeah.
So the whole point of pursuing so many different avenues from a business perspective was to make sure that the team can continue to move forward.
Yeah.
So the work that you've put in when it comes to the videos is a huge part of that.
Yeah.
Because the podcast, while it's not huge, which I didn't expect it to get huge, it is growing. And people are staying
100%.
in. Retention is up on almost every episode, which is really the important thing when you're this small.
Yeah.
When you're this small, you're basically waiting for the YouTube algorithm to trigger.
Yeah.
And once it has triggered, you just wait.
Yeah, and I think once you start having like the tournaments out at those places that you contacted and whatnot, and just start, hey, just check out our podcast and all that stuff, and check out our YouTube, check out our same thing, like handing out the stickers and just
Exactly.
it'll grow.
Once people find that they enjoy it and they want to learn more, the many avenues that we have for them to explore that will be huge.
Yeah.
Because anyone can make a podcast, but not every company decides to. And anyone can make YouTube videos about their product, but not everyone decides to. And I think that the approach that we're taking, while more conventional now than it was 5 years ago or even 2 years ago,
For sure.
is still fairly unconventional.
Yeah.
And
You're
it's
just-
working how I wanted it to.
You're dipping your toes into everything, right? And something's going to catch, and then it'll be a domino effect, and be like, oh, well, they have this, and they also have this, and they also have this, and
yeah. Throw out as wide a net as possible while creating as good a content as possible, and then just hope that that content brings people to your game, and then just go from there.
Like, yeah.
One thing that you may not have seen today, because it literally just came out hot off the press, Mike has put together the enemy side
Yeah.
and the player side. So you can actually like play cards.
Yeah.
They don't have effects yet, but you can like see where you're gonna go, and if they're not supposed
That's
to go
fucking
somewhere,
cool, dude.
it's supposed to return.
Yeah,
back
every
to
time
your
you like
hand.
post a video in the Discord, it's like, oh my god,
It's coming along really quickly.
this is real. Holy shit.
But the most important thing that is something he's finally working on now, because he had so many other things he had to put together first
For sure.
to get these cards integrated. But he's working on the card integrator, and essentially it's just this massive list that he's going to compile and port into the game, because the majority of the effects are this variable's adjusted, this variable's adjusted, blah 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 blah. So getting the demo together at this speed is incredible, because now we
Yeah.
can show people
And it's
how the
just
game
him.
plays. Yeah, and it's just him.
Like, yeah.
At this point, genuinely, I don't even think it's worth looking for another developer until he literally tells me like, "Hey, I'm working too
It's
hard."
like, this is too much shit.
Yeah, I'm working too
I
hard.
need another person. Yes, sip break. Yeah.
Oh, and this is also fresh off of getting Jacob onto the team. So,
Yes.
let's talk about Jacob really quick. I was supposed to record with him this week.
It'll probably be the next episode.
Yeah, it'll probably be the next episode. It's not Jacob's fault. I unfortunately got a little too busy this weekend. But the hope is that Jacob will help me where I'm weak when it comes to communicating with the people through social media.
For sure.
Because for some reason, it's just like a wall in my head. Like, I just don't really
We just,
enjoy it.
we don't go on there much.
Yeah.
It's just not a... It's a young man's game.
It's a young man's game. Which is funny, because I think Jacob's actually slightly older than you are. I think he actually might be the same age as Tyler.
I think, you just got to pay attention to that.
Yeah, it's something that he enjoys.
Knowing social media is an art.
Yes.
Like how to navigate it and really make your posts flourish and get seen and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Really got to know like what hashtags to use and what.
exactly.
All that stuff.
Couldn't agree more. It's not only the hashtagging importance, but also the importance of getting together the correct ways to communicate with the people that listen to you. Need to make sure my phone is on silent.
Yeah. True.
And that's a very difficult skill to master. And I put a lot of research into everything that we're doing, but I'm not skilled yet when it comes to those type of things. So I'd rather find someone who has more knowledge than I do,
For sure.
and is willing to put in the same risks that we all are. Because the bigger team we have, as long as it's close knit and no hands are being wasted,
Yeah.
the better.
For sure.
Because so Tyler has recently started taking over making archetypes for me, so I can mostly as a trial period, but I do very much believe him. I very much believe in him. I need to get him over again. I need to get him over more frequently. But he's doing incredible. He's putting them out very quickly. I'm
for sure
very good with what he's doing.
I'm sure he's like thought about this for years.
Yes,
like he just has like his own things in his head.
Yep, and he's just modifying them slightly and fitting them into the game. And then if something's weird, he's basically given me free range to change it.
Yeah.
But so far, I haven't needed to. But the funniest thing that's happened since we started is I created an archetype called the Neodyme. And
the Neodyme.
They're based off
cool.
of. It sounds cool. It's based off of neodymium magnets. Do you know what those are?
Nope.
They're just the most powerful magnet on the planet.
Fuck.
Naturally occurring magnetic material on the
Okay.
planet. So, neodymium, when you well, first off, you need to learn about how magnetism actually works. So
All right,
when
Magneto. All right.
so when you create a magnetic
I've seen
field-
X-Men. I know how this works.
Yes, essentially, when you create a magnetic field, you actually when you pass through it, you experience friction.
Okay.
So energy itself can produce friction to a physical object. Does everything make sense so far?
Yes.
So I designed a group of characters who are wearing a suit of armor that essentially creates a force field around them
Through magnetism.
through magnetism.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
So is this like a certain material that they find and
Yes, essentially.
it's like vibranium but magnets?
But magnets. Yes, it's a. So the story behind this one is it's. You remember that game I wanted to make where it took place on another planet?
Yes.
So it's those characters. I'm pulling them into the game.
Okay.
So
Okay.
they were teleported to this Earth-like planet 300 years ago.
Okay.
200 years later, everyone woke up. 100 years have passed with everyone being awake. New sets of generations.
Mm-hmm.
On this planet, no one was supposed to be there. It was just supposed to be like a...
Got a hiccup.
It's okay. At least it's not one of my hiccups where it lasts like 30 minutes.
Forever hiccups. Continue, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. And this guy, I haven't named him yet. I'm terrible with names. This guy stumbles across this facility where they were building this armor. Because this whole planet was a test facility just to build stuff for the humans out while they were asleep for 200 years.
Okay.
And they steal all this technology. And they put it back together. They learn a bunch of stuff. They're based off of the Brotherhood of Steel from Fallout.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The original Brotherhood of Steel from Fallout 1.
Yeah.
To be
We're not talking
very
about Fallout
specific.
4, all right?
Well,
Dog shit game. No, I'm just kidding.
kind of. I mean,
It's a good-
technically,
I had fun,
Fallout
kind of.
4 is more faithful than people realize if you play the first two Fallout games.
Yeah.
And it mentions Fallout New Vegas a lot more than people realize, but I have my own problems with that game.
Fallout 4 was my first Fallout.
I'm
I
sorry. to hear
I
that.
saw my cousin play Fallout 3.
It just looks so bad,
so
because you were
gray.
playing games like Mass Effect and
Stuff
other
with
stuff
color.
all the time.
But, like Fallout 3 just looks so dead, and I was like,
Yeah,
I don't want to
that
be
green,
sad.
that piss green filter.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that piss green filter. That's the first thing I do every time I mod Fallout. Is get
I
rid
saw
of that.
Fallout New Vegas looked cool, but I just didn't. I never delved into it. That whole style of like it's the 50s, but we're in the future.
Well, 20s.
The 20s, the Roaring 20s.
The Roaring
that makes more
20s never
sense.
ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See.
Nah, see? I love that. I love Fallout so much. Until 76, Fallout was my favorite franchise of all time. And then I put...
You mean the best battle royale?
Oh my god.
The untouchable battle royale that is Fallout 76.
Yes.
It got better with the updates.
It got better with time, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot like No Man's Sky, because like you were super excited for No Man's Sky, and I was like casually excited because I was like, I still have Minecraft. I don't need to play No Man's Sky. And then No Man's Sky became better Minecraft very quickly because of the openness of it. I know people are gonna destroy me for that. I'm not saying that it's legitimately a better game. I'm just saying there's more options. So yeah, I mean, games can come out and be kind of bad, and then when time passes, they get better, which is kind of how we're going to be taking it, because our demo will be functional. It'll be playable. You'll be able to play against other people. Hopefully, you'll be able to play against an AI.
Yeah.
But
It's alpha.
yeah, yeah. It's the best way of thinking of it is it is early development.
For sure.
Excuse me. It is an early pre-development build. Because our strategy here is, do we have something that's worth making to begin with? Which I think at this point, it's pretty safe to say yes. My fears about the product failing on its own merits are almost completely gone, and I know that our team can definitely make this work.
Yeah.
So now it's just a matter of getting our faces out there for real.
Yeah.
And I've been struggling with, on the crypto side of things, a website called Binance Smart Chain Scan, where maybe I shouldn't talk about this in the podcast, but I'm going to. I've just been emailing them, and because of the way that we acquired our token, I went through a website called PinkSale. And PinkSale is a website where they essentially sell contracts for you to use, which is what a cryptocurrency is.
Okay.
And because of that, they're having trouble believing that I own it, which doesn't make any sense to me because my face is on the website, my face is in the YouTube videos, my face is on the Twitter.
It's me.
It's on Instagram.
You're some hostage
Yeah.
that they're using.
Yeah, just some hostage.
Just some guys.
Or just some. Or
You're
some
going to be the
fake guy.
face of Collision.
Which the funniest thing is, because like, in the first email I got from them, they asked me to like put my face on the website, and that was basically all they wanted. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, well, I was going to do that anyways, so yeah, let me just move it to the front of the line. And I got it taken care of, and I emailed them back, and then they sent me this detailed list
Of what they wanted?
Of what they wanted, and I checked every box.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely. And
Like the about me's and all that stuff?
Yeah, everything's there.
Yeah.
And I don't see what's going on. I email them pretty regularly at this point. I don't really know another form of contacting them besides Telegram. I probably should pursue that. I've had a lot of other things
For
on
sure.
my mind.
Yeah.
But we need that taken care of because in order to sell our NFTs the way that I want to, I want that information to be updated because I don't want people to look at our NFTs, see the value of our NFTs, and then look at our cryptocurrency and see our Binance Smart Chain Scan page and be like, oh, this looks like a scam.
Yeah.
Because we look very good now. I don't think we're...
It's getting better.
Yeah, it's getting better every
day. Yeah.
Yeah. And at this point, I think it's just best to assume that the project will take off as long as we get the viewership. And so we just have to put ourselves in a situation where that's possible. And I do think having 3 avenues essentially for advertising when it comes to we're advertising our cryptocurrency, we're advertising our NFTs, and we're also advertising our game is the best way to do that.
Yeah.
Because I don't see the jump from NFT to NFT and card game being that far. I do see the jump from card game to card game and NFT being a little far for some people because of how NFTs work, the environmental impact that they have, and people's lack of research on the changes that are rapidly being produced on them. It's definitely going to turn a lot of people off to it. I mean, every member of our team that is an artist, I had to convince with facts that this was environmentally okay and that I didn't want to have a negative impact on the environment because every one of us. Yes, I was double checking. Every one of us is very environmentally conscious. We're not. None of us are tree huggers. That
We recycle.
Yeah, we recycle. We like do stuff like that. But the more important thing is we're going into a digital business. So all of us are very conscious about the fact that when we produce this product, it's going to cost energy.
Yeah.
So that's the main reason I keep saying so frequently I want this to stand on its own because I don't want to spend energy creating something that people don't want. From a environmental standpoint.
Okay.
So that was basically what it took to convince people. And I do plan on producing a video where I just basically explain, like, I understand that NFTs are not the best thing for the environment. I understand that a lot of people see them as a waste of energy. But they're a product, and the product's going to improve.
100%.
And I don't want to get left behind in the event that GDC, which is global digital currency, doesn't pass in time, or legislation isn't passed to prevent cryptocurrency from taking off again. I understand that it's under attack, which is something that a lot of people have brought up to me recently.
I don't even follow that, and I knew about it.
Yeah. And cryptocurrency is basically under attack because of a whole list of reasons that don't make sense, and then a few that do. It does have an impact on the environment. Whether or not the energy that's used to create cryptocurrency is green, it doesn't matter. It still has an impact. And so people are wondering, is it worth it? And the answer is yes, because each generation of cryptocurrency, unless it's not their purpose, does get more efficient. Basically, unless something is not trying to get more efficient, it's going to be.
Yeah.
And GDC, and I'm not trying to get too political, but it is a thing. And if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say GDC and you are a crypto fan, go look it up. GDC is not a good solution because GDC essentially puts the power of cryptocurrency in the hands of nations, which is the opposite of what we're trying to do. Because cryptocurrency exists for decentralization. Cryptocurrency was created as a direct response to money being manipulated and the stock market being manipulated. You can manipulate cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but it can be done. And you can steal it. You can do all sorts of other things. But it is the safest way that we have to do it right now. Because less people can attack it. More skilled people are needed to attack it. And every day that gets better.
Okay.
Which is a main thing that I think a lot of people are concerned about when it comes to NFTs, is that it takes so much security to ensure that what I have is real, and it's, to some people, it's not. Because a lot of people, digital assets are just digital assets. I have a little bit more attachment to digital assets because I've been gaming my entire life.
100%.
I mean, there's a sword that I created on my first playthrough of Skyrim that I named the Stabber. That I literally, it broke the game.
Yeah.
And so I never played that version of Skyrim again because I was like, I need to keep the Stabber. But I need to keep playing Skyrim.
Let's turn that into that game file as an NFT.
That'd be great. That'd be great. But with all that being said, I don't really see our next line of self-promotion, I guess would be the best way of putting it.
Well, I mean, we're doing everything.
Yeah.
So I think we just need to refine what we have.
Yeah, just continue. Yeah, I always think of it as like a blacksmith. Each time I make a mistake, I'm like, okay, yeah, I missed the mark a little bit.
Hammer.
Yeah, missed the mark a little bit. Let's iron that out real quick.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's get better. So yeah, I mean, we're literally just putting together infographics and posters and stuff like that, getting ready for the launch. We have all of our tiers.
Yeah, that stuff
out.
that Josh made was dope.
It was incredible.
That logo
was
is so sick.
Yeah, I really like that logo. For those who haven't seen it, it'll probably be this episode's.
The Kickstarter? You
Yeah.
can talk about that?
Oh no, we have a set logo now. The new Collision Cast logo was designed by Josh.
Okay.
So
Is it made? He has it?
Yeah, it's made.
Okay.
So
I need to get it from him.
yeah, so we'll use the new Collision Cast logo and the new background. We'll use the new everything on this video. And so what you're seeing right now is the new stuff. And the logo, if you're looking at it and you're being like, oh, it's kind of weird, made me think some stuff. It's designed after Toonami and Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
That
old school cartoon vibe.
Yeah.
Cartoon Network vibe.
We want at a glance to feel nostalgic, but at a glance to feel nostalgic, but in depth to feel completely new.
Yeah.
I want my cake and to eat it too, if I'm being honest.
Yes.
I want people to look at my game and be like, this looks incredible, this plays incredible, and it reminds me of better times.
Yes. It's Samurai Jack Season 5.
Exactly. Oh, that animation quality jump.
It's
Oh
so
my
good.
god.
It's so good.
Samurai. We should rewatch Samurai Jack. I know we were watching.
I'm down to do that, yeah.
I know we were watching Black and White. That's such a good fight.
Yeah, that was a great fight.
That's such a good
But
fight.
yeah, I'm down to... We're going to be doing reaction videos.
Yeah, that's another thing I forgot to mention.
Everything.
Yeah,
Or
pretty much.
just leave suggestions in comments or whatever.
Maybe I should react to the 7 Deadly Sins of trading card games.
What's that?
It's this video done by, I think it's Simo.
Yeah.
No, I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up really quick. But basically, he went through what he believes are the 7 worst mistakes that you can make while making a playing card game. And I did that mess with Audacity. Okay, it's working just fine. I basically used it as a guideline to make sure I didn't make any mistakes the last time I went through the game.
And this is like all of the 7 deadly sins. Oh, it's the name, Brandon. Jesus Christ.
7 Deadly Sins of TCG. And he basically has all these different rules that he thinks make games not fun.
Okay.
So I made sure that I did not hit any of these points.
Hell yeah.
Which number one being his first one. You should definitely check this out, by the way. Shout out to Kodak. Kodak's I think he's a very interesting
Kodak
guy.
on YouTube. Not Kodak Black, just Kodak.
Just Kodak. Kohdok. Kodak, very smart guy. At least as far as I can tell. Maybe some of his other videos make him seem like an idiot. I've only seen this series, so if he's actually an asshole, I'm sorry. But anyways, Kodak, his first sin is set rotation, and I agree completely. What do you think set rotation means?
I have no idea. I'm not.
New set comes out, last set goes out.
Oh, okay. Indeed.
So,
it's like new set is always like the next meta, right?
But set rotation is even worse because set rotation bans the old cards.
Jesus.
Yes. So you can only play the new set.
Cards. Yeah.
And then occasionally they throw in some of the old cards in the new set, so that way you can play some of the old cards.
Yeah.
I think the opposite should be true. You should be able to play any card in the game whenever you want.
Yeah, it should just be in addition to the base game.
Exactly. It should just be in addition to the base game. But then a lot of his other sins I honestly didn't even think to realize existed.
Yeah.
Like life decking, unmixable archetypes. Like how could you go to sleep at night thinking, "Oh, I've made a great game that has unmixable archetypes."
Unmixable?
Yeah, like I can't take a knight and I can't take a knight and splash it into an Otherworld deck, period. Never.
That's stupid.
Yeah, it doesn't even make more sense to me. Like no matter what game you're making, there are renegades. In your world, there are people that don't like the regime that they're under. They're going to go work for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Unmixable archetypes doesn't make sense fundamentally.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Because like,
it just brings less variety and it makes balancing. I don't know. It just makes it feel like there's. Like strong decks are always going to be strong unless you like nerf that specific deck, like Hearthstone, right? Is Hearthstone like that?
Hearthstone's similar. Okay. Hearthstone has archetypes specific, or what do they call them in Hearthstone? The person that you play as.
It's like the character.
Yeah, the character you play as has
Mage,
specific cards for them.
Paladin. Yeah.
They have cards that are just for them, but then you can add any of the generic cards or complementary cards from the game to your deck, I believe, is how it works. Another game that I think does it really well, and sorry for shouting these guys out because, well, I play a lot of their games. Legends of Runeterra. Legends of Runeterra is 3 maximum archetypes.
Yes.
I think it's very well balanced when you do that because you can essentially, with 3 mixable archetypes, you can do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing more than 3, you have a problem.
Yeah.
Because like I was trying to make
you just don't have an idea of what you're trying to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, look, that game seems to have it down because you can just. I've seen so many different kinds of
really good decks.
Combinations. Yeah.
I've seen some incredible stuff. When I went to play it for research for this, and then I started playing it for fun, there was like a 5 game in a row period where I made it to the last turn with an edited version of the original deck, but then got completely destroyed by a long form combo.
Yeah.
So like they'd been drawing all game. I'm like, oh, I'm kicking their ass. They don't have anything, and then out of nowhere they destroy me.
Fucking OTK'd you.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that game's pretty good. Not as good as this one, because all of the games that I just talked about have a problem, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
They aren't responsive enough. In Hearthstone, maybe I haven't played enough Hearthstone, but I do believe that Tyler agrees with me, at least in the modern day. It's essentially, can I get my combo off faster than you?
Yeah.
And if I can, I win. If I don't, I lose.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Is very much the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's, let's play this game until I get all my stuff off. Oh, my 5-minute turn's over, you lose.
Yeah.
Magic has its own problems. The Mulligan thing is my number one example of why Magic fundamentally is not that great. If you have to put in a rule to... I need to rephrase what I just said. I said not that great. I love Magic. I play Magic. I'm saying that there's a fundamental problem with it. There we go. When I say fundamentally...
7 deadly sins.
Yes.
Right?
Well, mana isn't really a sin of card games because mana is so popular. You have to remember that Magic is the first.
Okay.
They set the precedent on what trading card games should do. They invented tapping. They invented mana.
Okay.
So the fact that so many games follow that idea is fine to me. I do think that Magic's mana system, at least in the beginning and sometimes in the middle, gets very wacky because it's either I have no mana I have to mulligan, or I have all mana and I have to mulligan, or I have a combination of both, but I have too strong of this or too weak of this or something like that, which can be fixed with proper deck balance, especially with how Magic's deck balancing works.
Yeah. I mean, they've been around forever. I'm sure they figured it out.
Yeah, they figured it out. But mana's slow.
Yeah.
It's very slow.
Yeah.
And the fact that within Magic the Gathering, it actually takes up a card space makes it even slower, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate mana. I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it's a great way to handle card balance. But mana's just that. It's how you handle card balance. So I tried to solve that problem inherently. Mm-hmm. And the main thing that I realized is Yu-Gi-Oh! Has 3 types of limiting factors when it comes to a generic card. If you're just thinking about the base, it can be 4 or lower, which means you can just play it from your hand.
Okay.
It can be 5 or higher, or 5 to 7, which means you have to sacrifice 2, and then it can be 7 or higher, or sacrifice 1. And then it can be 7 or higher, which means you get to sacrifice 2.
Okay.
So that's a pretty interesting way of limiting cards. You have to put 2 cards in to get my 1 really powerful card off, and then we're good. Well, I don't really agree with that, because you're essentially playing 2 separate games at that point, at least from my perspective.
Okay.
I'm trying to get myself into a position where I can further my own advantage, but also prevent you from stopping me. Mm-hmm. So, and I get how weird that sounds, but here's why I think that's so true with Yu-Gi-Oh! And specifically just Yu-Gi-Oh!
Mm-hmm.
I can't pull this off at all unless I have all my pieces. That's not always true, but I do feel it's more true than it's not true. Mm-hmm. There's a reason that decks are built instead of being formatted and slightly changed from the last one. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh's formats change frequently based on card release. And cards randomly become super powerful. And then they get banned. So what that tells me with Yu-Gi-Oh is they have an idea on how specific they want their game speed to be, mm-hmm. but they don't know exactly how much. Because they constantly do different things to adjust how the game itself works with the different summoning mechanics. Mm-hmm. And each summoning mechanic, in my opinion, makes the game better. Even Link summoning, which I hate it. I think it's stupid, makes the game better. Because Link summoning is essentially, I have 2 cards on the field, I can mash those 2 cards together, I can summon a card. It's no different than XZ summoning, no different than Synchro summoning. Mm-hmm. The cards can be less specific, is the main thing. They get their own zone. I like that too. I like that they get their own zone.
Yeah.
But really, all that is them taking a look at their old concept of, let me limit the speed of cards, and then circumventing it. Because they're writing a rule to bypass their own rule.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I kind of draw a line. If you're creating an entire new set of mechanics to circumvent a rule for every single one of your cards, you've made a mistake.
Okay.
Because then you're essentially trying to create a way to play your game, even though there's no wrong or right way to play the game, incorrectly.
Okay.
Does all that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So that's why the tiering system exists, because I have 5 ways to limit the power of your card.
Okay.
Just off the bat. Like,
yeah.
I don't have to adjust any stats. I don't have to change any effects. Just 5 different ways to adjust how powerful this card is.
Indeed.
And Magic is very similar, except they technically have an infinite number of ways to adjust the speed on which a card can work.
Yeah.
But they also have design mechanics to circumvent that rule. Because mana exists, but then there are also cards that when you tap them, add mana to your mana pool.
Okay.
So then, just like the current set, there's currently a 2-card combination that gives you infinite mana. 2 cards.
Yes.
You play 1 card, you tap it, another card comes out of the hand onto the field. You tap that card, untaps the first card, tap that card again, add a mana to your mana pool. This card being tapped untaps this card.
You just tap.
And the game's done.
Jesus Christ.
Because you have infinite mana. Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
I have all the spells.
I have everything. You're dead. That'd be cool to like. I think we should have Tyler on like stream playing, just to showcase his skill in card games.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what he and I are going to do, because back when he and I were talking about just doing YouTube for fun, I wanted him to play me in Pokemon, but I had to soft lockpick essentially his team. So like he makes a team, and he goes undefeated for a couple games. And he's like, okay, I have an undefeated team, let's go. And then I fight his team until I win. He can't do anything to adjust his team, but I can adjust my team after every fight.
Okay.
So it's essentially, here's your challenge. You have this entire dictionary's worth of words to use. Go.
Yeah.
Which I think would be a lot of fun.
Hell
I think
yeah.
that would be a lot of fun. Because
That'd be a fun video to make.
yes. And I've almost done it once for fun, because we were playing Pokemon Showdown. Shout out to Pokemon Showdown. I'm still kind of salty that you couldn't work for me.
What's Pokemon Showdown? Oh yeah, where you can just build your team with whatever
it's
immediately.
great. Yeah, the guy who works on Pokemon Showdown
Just takes out all the
genius.
grind.
Yeah.
Yes.
I actually tried getting him on to the team, and he literally was like, "This sounds great," and I wish I could say yes, but I literally spend every day, all day, working on Pokemon Showdown.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's true.
That makes sense.
That makes sense." And he's like, "Yeah, I'll let you know." And then
back to Pokemon.
Back to Pokemon Showdown. But I mean, that's the type of person that Mike is too, because he's slowly becoming like that with Collision Gate.
Yeah.
He basically sends me something new about what he's doing every day,
Yeah.
and then I get an update on GitHub every day. He's a monster.
Yeah. He is. And
Go ahead.
So what's going to be our first stream, you think?
I was thinking So I watched this guy named Juve. I've told you about this, but I haven't told the stream or the podcast about this. There's this guy I watch on YouTube named Juve, and he plays the Bethesda titles. He plays Skyrim, Fallout 4, stuff like that. And he did this challenge where he went to Whiterun naked and became rich and powerful in Whiterun.
And only Whiterun.
And only Whiterun. So I'm thinking about doing that, and then I'm going to do it against Mike, who's probably going to do it in VR.
Oh my god.
So he's going to be doing VR Skyrim, and I'm going to be doing normal Skyrim, where we cannot leave different cities. But because this is Juve's idea, I mean, I've done a similar challenge before, but he was the first person to put it on YouTube. And I try to be respectful of stuff like that. I'm not going to do any of the places he hasn't done yet.
Okay.
So
sure.
He's done Whiterun, Riften, Solitude, and a few others.
Okay.
So I'm going to paste these videos out, but these would also go on my main channel to hopefully get...
Could you also do this in Fallout?
Yes.
Oh my god.
So I've actually done this in Fallout. In Fallout 4, there's a city right outside where you come out.
Yeah.
Sanctuary. You can never leave Sanctuary.
And that's it.
That's it. Just stay there.
Just live. Oh my gosh. There's like nothing in Sanctuary, is it? Right? Isn't it like the
There's
super
6
small
buildings.
Yeah.
3 of which are ruined. I'm sorry. 8 buildings, 3 of which are ruined. I forgot about the cellar technique.
You know what we should do? We should play Fallout 76.
I mean, I'm fine with that. I'll probably.
Have you ever played it?
Yeah, I played it for 5 hours, and then
played it.
And
Yeah,
then
I
gave
played.
up.
Yeah, same. Like we walked in, it's like this sucks, and then just left.
They just don't know how to design a game, because VATS is super important.
Yeah.
In Fallout, and I like what they did with VATS. Real-time VATS is super cool.
Yes.
But what they did is they gave you the hardest enemy in the game to hit in VATS right out the gate.
Who?
The Liberators. The Liberators are these little metal tin can looking things with like some spider legs.
Yeah.
And they're all head. So in Fallout, how the equation works is you get I think it's like a 30% debuff chance to hit the head.
Okay.
You're level 1. You have no agility. You have no perception. You're trying to hit these guys with a pipe
accuracy.
pistol.
Yeah, you have no accuracy whatsoever.
And so like every time you think you're about to get a 90%, it jumps out of the way and then you miss.
Jesus.
So I was like, okay, this is a no VATS game, but I'll try VATS again here in a minute because I love VATS.
Yeah.
And then you fight a bunch of radroaches, right?
Okay.
They made radroaches super fast.
Yeah, I was gonna say also really small on the ground.
And So I'm trying to get to a point where I can like hit them in VATS, but they're scurrying at me so quickly, and I'm so squishy,
Yeah.
and I'm playing on the hardest difficulty,
Oh,
and so I'm just instantly dead. And I'm like,
masochist.
I've beaten every single Fallout game.
It's like, I
on
can't
very-
beat this. I'm getting killed by rad roaches.
That's literally what I said. And then so I just like went around and started trying to power level by discovering places.
Yeah.
And then I realized I really hated the leveling system.
Yeah, in the beginning it was really bad.
Yeah.
I felt like Sea of Thieves when that first launched, where it's just like, what am I doing to level the same things over and over and over and over and over again?
But see,
And
I don't even mind that.
The fun aspect of it is the multiplayer thing, right? Where it's like, oh, I can play with friends and we can like murder other people, and it's like, no, you can't.
you can't.
They take that away from you. They make it like they baby, because they did it for people who are like, I don't want to get killed, man.
Yeah. So essentially,
They should just have separate servers for that.
yes,
You know.
I agree completely. Because if you're trying to
Which
start a
I don't know if they
firefight,
do. Do they have that? No.
they may at this point, but I
don't
don't think
know.
so.
I have no idea.
I don't think so. Unless it's community organized, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because how it works is essentially, I shoot you, you take an HP
Yeah.
of damage.
Yeah.
And then
You can literally go into your menu as you're getting shot and like, I need to fucking grab food, heal myself real quick. Okay, I'm good again. Where am I going? Like I'm good as someone's trying to kill you.
Yeah,
it's-
and then so let's say I've done like 30 total damage to you. Each time I shoot you,
yeah.
my fine goes up,
Oh my god, there's fines.
or my bounty. Not my
Yeah.
bounty.
So it's bounty for other players, or
Other players can come kill me and take money. They get caps.
Yeah.
So the fight doesn't start until you shoot me back. Your first bullet does full damage.
wow.
Yes,
So the second person is
is
has
that
the
a
advantage.
major advantage.
Yeah.
If you're fighting multiple people, you get extra damage threshold.
So you're just
shot.
you're just a fucking tank, and you're dealing out all the DPS.
Yes. Yep. Because you can literally sit there.
It's so broken. What
You
the
can sit there,
fuck?
and I saw a video of this. Someone's sitting there getting shot with nukes,
Yeah.
mini nukes, and he's just standing there, and he's just
Fucking
you see him hitting himself with stim packs, and every once in a while his equipment changes, and you're like, "What's he doing?"
Yeah.
And then a suit of power armor spawns, and it's like the max level power armor, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh shit!" And then he gets in his power armor, pulls out a missile launcher, jetpacks into the air, and just rains fire down upon them. It was insane. That like doing stuff like that is really cool. Cause like have you ever played Rust?
No, but I've seen so many playthroughs, or not playthroughs, but like people playing on servers and all that stuff.
Okay, I'm guessing you've also probably not played Minecraft in a hardcore setting on a world then too.
I played on hardcore, but not like with a group.
Okay, so my favorite thing to do in Minecraft, period, is to fill someone's floor with lava.
Oh yeah.
Because it's super easy to do with dripstones.
Yes.
And it's a lot of fun. So basically what I used to do is I would jump onto servers.
Yes.
I would go out and become a lumberjack, make enough money to get a single lava bucket, and I would turn that single lava bucket into as much lava as possible. Mm-hmm. And then I would create a hole underneath everybody's houses,
Yes.
put an entire layer of TNT underneath their floor, and then fill the rest of it with sand, and then have lava right there. So their floor blows out from underneath them.
Yeah.
Because there's a block in between you take almost no damage.
Yes.
But then you fall into lava, and all of your stuff is destroyed.
You're evil.
I know. It was so much fun. I did it to the server admin one time.
Did he kick you out of the...
Oh yeah, he kicked me hard.
Oh, no. Jeez.
Yeah. Or that, or to entity scan, entity cram someone's mobs.
Yes.
So like you walk.
Cram.
The best way to do it is to build an ender portal or
Okay.
another portal in someone's house.
Yes.
Which is hard to do because you're gonna get caught.
Yeah.
But you build another portal inside someone's house, and then you go to the Nether, and then you find a piglin. You build a portal around the piglin and teleport him in there. Give him a
Okay.
name tag. Go back. Destroy the second portal that you made. Do it over and over and over again. If you can get him to 15 piglins, and then you spawn a bunch of pigs, for some reason, whenever they enter their chunk, it starts to stutter. And they'll never know why.
What the fuck?
Because Minecraft's only capable of holding so many mobs before it starts to freak out.
Okay.
And when it's having to render multiple different mods from across the map, it doesn't like that. So as you spawn into a chunk, everything's rendered. I think the render distance on main Minecraft is 2.5 chunks.
Okay.
So basically, for 2.5 chunks, everything is actually existing and doing stuff.
Yeah.
But if you like build an iron farm and you walk 4 chunks away, your iron farm stops working because it's not working over there.
Yeah.
But if you give stuff name tags and stuff, it remembers that it's there better.
Okay.
And so that takes a little bit of information. And when it's weird Minecraft stuff. It's just how Minecraft
so they
works.
just load in. They're like, "Why is my game stuttering?"
But the thing is, it's barely knows.
Yeah.
It's just enough to where you think you're crazy.
Like, oh.
Is it slower in my house or am I crazy? And then every
so
once in a while you'll hear a pig grunt and you're like,
It's probably just a pig outside.
it's probably just a pig outside, right?
They have lava underneath people's houses.
That's the thing. You put them together and you put the piglins right next to a button. So where if they go to destroy the piglins,
Yeah.
they step on a button. Floor goes up.
Oh my god, dude.
I used to love doing that.
That's great.
I got banned from so many Minecraft servers.
We should just make a Minecraft server with everyone on the team.
I've been wanting to do that.
That'd be so fun.
I've been wanting to do that. I would be a benevolent leader though. I wouldn't blow anybody up, but I would let everybody know, hey, if you fuck up, your floor is gonna just.
I'm making
disappear.
secret deals with everyone.
See, I'd love to make a server with 8 people. Each person picks one archetype, and they have to role play as the leader of that archetype and build up their own thing. I think that'd be.
Oh my god, that'd be so sick.
That'd be really cool.
Like someone's like a wood elf, just surviving in the trees. They can only use wood as their things.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that would be fun. I'd be
Otherworld
down
has
for
to go live in the ice,
that. Oh yeah. Yes.
and then the
Samurai.
samurai can live pretty much. It has to wander. Samurai has to wander.
There's bamboo, right?
True. I mean, like she could make things, but like her whole backstory is she's a landless person.
Okay.
So like her rule, and I'm saying her because the characters are her. Her rule would be you have to take over a nation, then it becomes yours.
Okay.
And then insects would probably also just wander in the woods.
Could you make deals?
Yeah,
Okay.
because the whole thing is even the insects are conscious, which is this is also some stuff that you guys don't know. The insects are conscious because they have a deity leader who's like
The hive mind or
the hive mind type thing.
Okay.
And it communicates to people through the insects.
Okay.
There has to be a large enough mass of them to get the signal across, but that's how it communicates. And so, like, basically, when you're being attacked by an army of insects, you're being attacked by an army of insects that all have one purpose:
Yeah, to murder you.
And they don't like they have no sense of self-preservation. They will do whatever it takes.
It's the flood, dude. That's terrifying. Yeah, that's always terrifying. You just can't. Like, how do you beat that? You have to kill the hive mind.
Yeah, and it's not even on that planet.
Yeah, fuck. God damn it.
See, like that's the thing that I think is like the most disconcerting for anything that actually exists within our world is even if you killed everyone, they just keep coming.
Yeah.
Like it's just gonna keep happening forever until one person comes out on top.
Yeah, that's the flood, dude. In Halo, reading the books, that shit was terrifying.
I need to read that because I want to write more for the zombies. I want to write what it's like to fight them.
Yeah, Master Chief he became like, he said he was felt like a robot, just in the motions of killing for over 36 hours straight.
Just over and
killing.
over again.
Flood upon flood upon
Since
flood.
you've read most of the books at this point, right?
No, I've only read the first 3.
Okay. Does it ever talk about Master Chief's mental state when it comes to murder? Because he seems like a very stoic, like, I understand what I'm doing is my job.
The Spartan 2s are very stoic. Like, their emotion is very, it's like, it's been ripped out of them. Pretty much. Like, they care about each other.
They care about each other, and
they
I know
care
he cares
about
Cortana.
Yes, that's the big thing with John, at least, because he's, like, the only Spartan to really, to go against orders and to really feel for someone, and that's what these last couple of Halo games have really showed. Not the show. Don't talk about the show.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do we want to shit on that really quick?
Yeah, I don't want to.
Disobeys orders way too quickly.
Yeah. I can't even want to die.
I just watched the poor the.
There's some cool fight scenes.
Yes, I watched a couple of the fight scenes because I heard they were really good, and I do agree.
Yeah.
And then I watched the there was a video on YouTube that was up for like 24, maybe 48 hours, and it's like there's like 20 minutes of it's James Cameron, right? Is it James Cameron who did it?
No, James Cameron does big movies.
I know, but it's on the same scale. I know it's a big guy. I know it's a big director.
And I know Spielberg directed. I think it's Spielberg. Pretty sure it's Spielberg. Look up director.
I thought it would be here.
No, they think we only care about actors.
Okay,
never mind. I'm pretty sure Spielberg did something Halo related though. I just can't remember what. There it is.
It was heavily involved in the Halo series. Apparently.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
so you fucked up, Spielberg.
You can definitely see the Spielberg in the fights, but you can also definitely see the Spielberg in the dialogue. I know Spielberg, you probably didn't direct this or write this movie or anything, but there's something about all of your movies that I feel as though they have in common, and it's that the dialogue doesn't always hit. But yeah,
there's some Indiana Jones. No, well, he directed. He directed. He didn't write. George Lucas wrote Indiana Jones.
And Indiana Jones is pretty well written.
Jaws.
He wrote
kind of like Doll's Eyes. No, he's just a director. I think he takes these great writings and then.
Okay, so maybe what I just said is completely shit.
Yeah.
But what the important part of what I was saying is I watched a 20-minute video of it was literally called 20 minutes of Halo's lore being ruined.
Oh no.
And it's just stuff being said and Master Chief doing stuff that he would never do
in the show or
in the show.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
And then at the end of the video, there's just a guy crying.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Because that's such a huge part of him he never disobeying orders.
Unless it comes to Cortana.
Until it finally came to Cortana, where he's like, I love Cortana, so I'm gonna go save her.
If you stop me,
I don't give a fuck. I will kill you. No, he won't kill anyone, but he'll definitely stop them. In Halo 5, Guardians, we're gonna send a team to stop him.
Nice.
Yeah, good for you.
Locke
there was a fight scene between him and Locke, who's a Spartan 4, which is nothing compared to a Spartan 2.
And he's the best Spartan 2.
They make it seem like he's putting up a fight. That fight should have been
completely one-sided.
Yeah. Halo 5.
Or they should have thrown in a line where he's like, oh, his mental state, he's not acting like his normal self. I might actually be able to take him right here.
Or just something.
Just anything.
Yes.
Anything.
Or have him fight the entire team.
He should have fought the entire team single-handedly.
Because it was gangster. He told his blue team, like Kelly and Fred and who was it? Joshua. He was like, "Go ahead, I got this. I'm gonna fuck this guy up real quick." It would have been cool to see him fight Locke and his team by himself.
Yeah, that
would have been so sick.
If he would have fought the entire team, and then when he got down to Locke, he was tired, and then Locke beat him. That would make the game much better.
No, yeah.
Any number of things that they would have done, it just kind of ruined Master Chief's.
I mean, he beat Locke in that fight, but he did
barely.
he did take that damage. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not barely, but it was far more.
Cracked his
even.
fucking visor.
Yes.
Bullshit.
He fell from space, and it is. It's like chipped. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he did use armor lock, and I think he didn't because at that point he had Cortana, so and he had overshield, and I don't know. I'm just trying to make it make sense.
Fair enough.
It makes me angry.
And then the new game, have you finished it?
Infinite, yeah, that one was good. It was all right.
How'd you feel about the story?
The story was okay.
Okay.
It was just it's fun. Like the grapple hook is fun as fuck. I think that's like everyone's review. It's like, this is an okay game. The grapple hook is amazing. The story was like, it was just okay. Like they did get back to like some of the Halo feels, you know, but I love I forget his name, the human that he saves, the soldier, the pilot. I think him, like their relationship was dope. I don't know. The boss fights were awesome.
Okay.
The boss fights
That's usually very important with Halo.
Yeah. The boss fights were actually really good. And then I don't know. It just felt like when it ended, it was like, that's it. That's the ending.
Was it too short, or was it the ending
because
itself?
the way Halo 5 ends is Cortana she found a Halo ring. She has the control of all these guardians, like hundreds of guardians, and a guardian can police like a galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how powerful these things are. And you're like, holy shit, what are they gonna do? Like you see Chief teaming up with the Arbiter and Locke, and you know, like all these people coming together to fight Cortana. And then you get into Halo 5,
and she's gone, right?
and it's past that point. It's like they had that fight already, and now you're dealing with the aftermath of that.
Okay.
So it's like the thing that you were waiting for is already done. It's like, oh yeah, Cortana's been beaten, and now we have to fight this other guy. It's like,
I'd rather see you fight Cortana.
what?
Or at least
Like,
give me some
like,
flashbacks.
Like, no, they do, but it still doesn't hit as hard. Like you would want to see. I don't know. It was just a weird choice that they did.
Fair enough.
I don't know.
Fair enough.
Microsoft being dumb. But they also acquired Bethesda and Blizzard.
I keep hearing so many rumors that Bethesda
Activision.
is being forced to work with Obsidian by Microsoft. And first off, about that rumor, they wouldn't be forced. They're friends. Like
Yeah.
Obsidian and Bethesda work
Coincide.
together,
Yeah.
like whenever they can. People think that there's bad blood with Obsidian because of New Vegas, because New Vegas was supposed to get a 70 on Metacritic in order to get a bonus, and they got a 69. They got a bonus,
Yeah.
not as big as the bonuses they were promised, but they got a bonus.
Yeah.
And that was they did their job. Like they were
100%.
paid to make a game, and then they were going to get a bonus if the game was really good.
Yeah.
And the game was really good, and they got a little bit of a bonus, even though they didn't make that deal. So people think that Obsidian is angry or something, but no. Like Bethesda has stated very firmly that they want to make Fallout.
Yeah.
Like they want to make that game, and that they want it to be their game. And they have also very frequently brought up the fact that that Fallout New Vegas is really good, and Fallout New Vegas is called out in Fallout. Like all these different things that people don't think are true.
Yeah.
Maybe there's bad blood. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But from a professional perspective, if they were being told to work together, quotation marks about told, in all honesty, I would expect to have been an issue because Obsidian was owned by Microsoft and Bethesda wasn't.
Yeah.
Like where they were like, I would like to work with Obsidian again, but now they're owned by Microsoft and they won't let us. And then they were acquired, and now I think there's definitely a conversation going on.
100%. There has to be.
They would make too much money from a New Vegas remake. It's as
Or
simple
just a
as,
New Vegas 2.
Yeah,
Just
or
make
New
a
Vegas
sequel
2.
Or...
the fact that they're just basically leaving that on the table, because like their main thing is they keep releasing Skyrim over and over and over again, and whatever, dude, I don't fucking care anymore. I like Skyrim. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I have my problems
Starfield
with
is
it.
coming out soon.
Yes, and it's gonna probably be pretty good, but
Yeah.
I don't know that.
We won't know until
Yeah, we
we
won't
get it,
know
you
until and we won't know until it's out.
If I can be a space wizard,
That'd be sick.
I'm good.
Yeah,
If you could become a Jedi, if there's lightsabers,
there should be. There's no point, because like the thing is,
so many things they can do.
lightsabers aren't used a lot in fiction, but they're not copyrighted. It's a sword made of light.
Yeah,
Like
a laser sword.
it's a laser sword. You can't
really-
copyright a laser sword.
Yeah,
And I mean, even if they did,
I guess calling it a lightsaber. Just
yeah, you can't call it a
something-
lightsaber because
maybe-
lightsabers are owned by
Disney.
Disney. I was gonna say Lucasfilms, but you might as well just say Disney. now.
Disney. Yeah. But I think it's like how Disney acquired like Marvel and Star Wars and Fox. I think it's just all for the greater good because Microsoft has that Microsoft money, dude. You
Yeah.
know, and now they have Bethesda and Activision. There's no first-person shooter
That they don't.
that they don't. Well, Killzone, but like compared to like Call of Duty and Halo, like
I'm really surprised that Microsoft hasn't
they own Overwatch.
been given the warning that Disney got recently.
Yeah, it's like don't buy any more stuff.
If you buy any more stuff,
you're a monopoly.
You're a monopoly,
Yeah.
and technically we have to immediately shut you down.
Yeah.
Just don't buy any more stuff, and you continue to not be a monopoly. You just be an almost monopoly.
100%. I think that's what Microsoft is at right now.
Yeah, because I think their business model is just as good, if not better, than Disney's or Amazon's. Mm-hmm. Because first off, they're an evergreen company. They will never stop making money. They will always be making PCs. Like when you hear the word PC, the average person thinks Microsoft.
100%.
They don't. A lot of people don't even realize that a MacBook is still a PC.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because of that commercial from back in the day, where do you want to be a Mac or a PC?
Yeah.
They're both personal computers, bro.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just in tandem with that.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine how much money they've made from, Bill Gates, one of the richest men in the world for a reason.
I mean, they own Google.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah.
Don't they? I think they own Google. I'm going to check that. I might just be an idiot.
Does Alphabet?
I know Alphabet owns Google. I worded it improperly.
I just put who owns Google. That is the question. Who owns Google?
If I say who owns Google, it'll type in. It'll be Alphabet.
It'll be Alphabet. Okay, who owns Alphabet? Oh.
Nope. It's just Google.
All right. Well, there you go.
Google. There
you have it. Never mind. Microsoft is still a juggernaut, though.
Yeah, Microsoft's still a juggernaut. I might see something real quick.
Indeed.
Microsoft largest companies. I can't spell today, apparently. It's the world's largest software maker by revenue as of 2016. Wow, makes sense. So, yeah, here we go. Bing, LinkedIn. Where else? There's all these fucking companies. Technical services. There we go.
SDN, Microsoft 365, OneDrive, Outlook,
Windows, obviously. Holy shit. Sometimes you just forget how big this company really is.
Yeah, and just
this man.
You're thinking like, oh, how much did they pay for Blizzard? It was like $60 billion or something insane.
Something like that.
It's nothing. Same thing for Disney. It's like we paid $50 billion for Fox. Like, oh my god, how do you have that kind of money? Because they're Disney.
$68.7 billion. $68.7 billion.
I mean, it's worth. They take the hit to become. Like, there's no first-person shooter that's gonna. They just acquired Call of Duty. You know how big Warzone is right now. They acquired Blizzard. They acquired the not RTS, the fucking MMO of all time, World of Warcraft.
Okay, so they have about $400 million a year. So it's going to take 15 years if things continue as they are for them to make their money back.
Well, it's not including what they'll make from the companies that they just acquired, you know?
True.
So their income will probably just, I'm sure there's smarter people that figure this out.
Yeah, I'm sure some much smarter people than us figured it out. I'm sure Microsoft is not batting an eye at the $69 billion.
Wants to make a couple $1 billion off of us. That's totally fine.
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Want to acquire CollisionGate.
It's something I've thought about a lot. Because I do plan on moving on to something else one day.
For sure.
And replacing me with someone. How do I feel about an acquisition, though, is something that constantly beats around in my head. And I think that's just something I'd have to see. I'd have to
Yeah.
experience for myself. It would depend on the circumstances of the acquisition, preferably a merger of some kind where I keep creative control of some kind.
For
Would be
sure.
great.
Don't want to see it get like.
I don't wanna see it
we
get
have your
destroyed.
game, and then they just fucking rip it apart.
Yeah, just rip it apart. The only reason I would ever keep creative control of this game is to make sure that it doesn't get destroyed.
For sure.
If I start destroying it, I'm definitely also the same way. Like, oh, time to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I am not helping. So yeah, I mean, I can understand wanting to purchase something like that because it is Blizzard. They do make a lot of money probably from WoW, less so now.
Yeah.
But with Microsoft backing them up, they can get WoW back to where people probably want it to be. And maybe even at this point, it's almost time to replace WoW, if we're being honest. Like,
They're not gonna replace it. There's just way too many people that play that game, dude.
well, think of Overwatch 2.
Well, Overwatch failed.
Overwatch 2 failed?
Well, Overwatch 1 failed.
Oh.
Overwatch 1 failed, and I'm pretty sure them bogging down. I think I would assume that it would be because they had to have been in talks with Blizzard for at least over a year for acquiring them, for buying them, which put a stop to any creative
Ventures
process.
at that time.
Yeah, they had to stop. There was no talk and COVID and
Yeah.
all that stuff, just putting all of that stuff to a halt, and then having to get a different game director from Jeff Kaplan left, and then they had all those accusations that happened with like the CEO of Blizzard, and yeah, I want Blizzard, or I want Overwatch 2 to be good, but Overwatch 1 kind of really just failed, and it just seems that Overwatch 2 is Overwatch 1 updated. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to spend money, which I don't think you'll have to now. I think it'll just be on Game Pass with Microsoft. But yeah, I want it to be I
I wonder how good the Game Pass business model actually is. I feel like how it's been going.
All the Bethesda games are on there.
Yeah.
All of their Xbox exclusives are on there, on top of other games that you're like, I don't really want to play that game, and then it's free, and you're like, I kind of want to play this game now because it's
Yeah.
free. Like, I never would have bought like Jurassic World Evolution 2, where it's just like a Sim City, but you know, you build your own Jurassic Park, and
Yeah.
you go out and capture the dinosaurs and whatnot. But I was like, it's free. Click, install, see how this goes. I never played it, and it's fun. It's a fun game.
That's how I am about a lot of the games that I play. Because, like,
And I'm sure they're making way more money than they are from just selling a game, you know?
probably.
Because
subscriptions
every month. you know?
subscriptions make more money in the long term, but they make less money in the short term, I think.
For sure.
I think that's how the consensus on subscriptions are.
It just seems like it's stupid to not have it. If you play, like, Xbox, or... It just seems like you would want that. And PlayStation recently just kind of did the same thing with their PlayStation Plus reveal of, like, having, like, PlayStation Plus Premium, where you can have essentially PlayStation Now, and, like, access to their entire library of games, and then the same thing as Game Pass.
Yeah.
But for PlayStation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. But, I mean, yeah. Sony seems to be scrambling. They're like, they got Blizzard, and then they bought, like, some, what was it? They bought some smaller company. They bought, not Ubisoft. It was a company that owns, like, Assassin's Creed. I know they're under Ubisoft, but it's another company that owns Assassin's Creed.
Oh, okay.
I forget the name.
I don't remember who it is either, but I know who you're talking about.
And then they acquired Bungie. They bought Bungie. So, okay, you bought Destiny 2. That's what you bought, pretty much. Who owns Assassin's Creed?
They'll probably come up with Ubisoft, and then let's change it to who makes Ubisoft, apparently.
Do Sony. Like, Sony purchased who? Who has Sony purchased? Acquisitions area. Yeah.
Second major acquisition of 2021 for Destiny Company.
Yeah, Bungie.
House Curry.
Valkyrie Entertainment, I think that's what it was. Or...
Blue Point, Fire Spirit, and Nixies.
Yeah, see, they're just scrambling. They're just getting all these, like, smaller companies, which have, like, decent games, but it's nothing in comparison to Blizzard and Bethesda, you know?
See, that's the main thing I kind of am liking about Microsoft nowadays. Or not Microsoft, Nintendo nowadays, they're not even trying to compete with
Yeah, they're
Sony.
their own.
They're their completely own thing.
and
It works really well.
100%.
Like
Pokemon is the biggest game in the world.
yeah, to put it in perspective, I do not own a next gen console. I own a Switch though.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like when the Switch came out, I was like, oh, I'm getting a Switch. I'm just gonna wait for a special
Yeah,
edition.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
Like they just put so much love and character into their
Single player games.
their exclusive Nintendo games, and you really feel it.
I really don't feel like there's a single company that does gaming as an idea better than Nintendo.
Yeah,
Because like
they feel free.
they feel
Really,
free.
like
Yeah.
just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's like I can be a fucking tree in Mario. What?
Yeah. And they really think unconventionally. Because like I don't think anyone expected the Wii to do well.
And it's one of the biggest selling consoles
Yeah.
ever.
Like I
If
owned a
not the
Wii,
biggest selling console.
and like I only ever played like 2 or 3 games on it. But every time I would go back to playing Wii, or I'd play Wii Sports with my friends, I would be like, why don't I play my Wii more?
Yeah, it's just a very. Yeah, you always feel like that. Right?
Yeah.
Like playing Mario Party or like Mario Kart. It's like,
Yeah.
this is fun. It's
Yeah.
just a very fun like party game console, but then it's also very fun for like solo gaming, like Pokemon. Will forever. Well, Pokemon Shield kind of sucked. Arceus was fun, and I mean the remakes that they do, like Brilliant Diamond and what was the other one? Something
Shining Pearl.
Shining Pearl. And then they're coming out with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Scarlet and Violet looks really good.
Yeah, those starters look so damn cute.
Yeah, I'm excited for Scarlet and Violet, especially because it's going to be their first real Pokemon game on Switch.
Yeah.
Because like I really don't feel like they put the effort that they should have put in for Sword and Shield, even with the Tundra and Crown. I think it was a good idea. I think it was done well with the catching thing. I think those games are a catching game. It's essentially like they were like, oh, we made Pikachu and Eevee, and it did really well, and it's basically just a catching simulator.
Yeah.
So let's-
it's just like you want to nostalgia and you want to capture all the OGs of the 150.
Exactly. So let's basically take that mechanic, and let's make it the primary focus of the next game, but then also introduce the old battle mechanics that we used to have. And I'm really curious to see what they're going to do now that Arceus did so well.
Yeah.
Because Arceus is getting really, really good reviews. People are really loving it.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It just feels. I mean, it's definitely geared more for kids. I mean,
Yes.
but that's all Nintendo games.
Yes.
You know,
Yes. Nintendo games can be enjoyed by adults, but they were made
for kids, 100%.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's a lot like what show am I thinking of? Fuck.
You lost it.
I did. It was in the same idea as Courage the Cowardly Dog, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
SpongeBob.
not SpongeBob. The other, a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. Scooby-Doo. I know I talk about Hanna-Barbera a little bit too much. Scooby-Doo is meant for kids, but it can be enjoyed just as much as an adult.
Yeah.
Where a show like Avatar: The Last Airbender is really meant for adults, but it can be enjoyed just as
For
much by
kids. Yeah. 100%. 100%.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. That philosophy when it comes to like, I'm going to make a game that's geared towards really everybody, but I mean, kids are going to be the market, so let's sell it to the kids.
Yeah.
I think it's a great philosophy. It obviously has made Nintendo billions.
For sure. I mean, Pokemon is considered. I think it is like the biggest game in the world.
Yeah, I want to
In
say
terms of like.
I want to say Pokemon, when you combine all the titles together, definitely has the most sales.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's incomparable.
Yeah.
Because first off, they released 3 games for each game.
And then they simultaneously, like, the anime.
Yeah.
And then the trading card, the physical trading card, and then, yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
Huge. And then Pokemon Go, when that first came out.
Pokemon Go is still huge to a lot of people.
No,
Like,
yeah.
It's a lifestyle. And
Yeah.
I was absorbed into it when it first came out. Like, I legitimately had to ban myself from playing the game.
It feels good. Like going on runs with my friends recently. It just feels good to just, oh, look, there's a Pikachu right here. Let me catch it really quick.
Yeah,
It does
fun.
get you out of the house. That's one
Yeah.
thing Nintendo does. It's like, stop being,
Stop being lazy.
yeah, get up, do
Get
stuff.
up, do stuff.
Yeah.
It's important. You'll
Yeah.
die if you don't.
Yeah. Meanwhile, America's like, here, VR, stay inside, get into a different reality.
Oh my god. That reminds me of a video I was watching of this guy reviewing a meta demo. And he's like, oh yeah, so you can put the headset on and you can get in the car and you can drive wherever you want. And I'm like, cool. And so he does a demo and he's like sitting in a chair and he's got his hands out like this with his controllers in his hands and he's driving around. And then in the corner you see what he sees. And in that moment I was like, oh shit, I actually get it. Because it looked completely photorealistic because they were using Google Maps.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't feel the wind on your face, but you don't do that in a car anymore anyways.
Exactly. Unless you have AC on.
Unless you have AC on. And you don't really feel the acceleration of the car, but that's only part of the journey.
Unless you're in a Tesla going 0 to 100.
Well, no, because you're the VR. I'm talking about the VR.
No, yeah.
But the main thing is, like, you can have a ride where you get up to 200 miles an hour on an empty street going up a mountain. Mm-hmm. I get it now. Like, because it's like a VR meta is trying to do what gaming did again, which makes sense because that's what VR is basically trying to do. How do you make a game just as engaging when you're doing it with your hands?
Yeah.
Well, you're doing it with your hands. It already is just as engaging.
Man, in 20 years, dude. Like, look at what video games look like in, like, the early 2000s compared to now.
Yeah. I mean, haptic feedback suits are now real.
Oh, my gosh.
It's insane.
We're just going to live in a pod. Like, if I go in this pod, I'll just be in a different world? Yeah. Okay.
How do I get my food?
Goodbye, Earth.
How do I get food and stuff? Will
I
you
live
earn
on
money in the game?
Splexlong 9 now.
I'm on Splexlong.
With my children. Skoogleborkman.
Gangling. Spookablork and Gangling. Go. Go Gadget Gangling. Oh my god.
We did a lot.
Yeah, we did a lot. I actually didn't even realize how much time had passed. I remember looking at it when we were at 45, and I was like, okay, we got a little bit more to go. And now we're at an hour 16.
117. Back to Halo. John 117. It's a sign.
It's a sign. But no, this was a great podcast in my opinion.
It was good.
Had a good talk.
Video games.
Video games are always
We're
fun
streaming.
to talk about.
We're gonna start streaming.
Yes.
The Kickstarter coming out soon.
Kickstarter coming out soon.
Alpha.
Alpha.
What else is there?
Pre-alpha.
Pre-alpha. Podcasts out. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, soon to be Google Play. Yeah.
Is everything? That's all the play. Oh, YouTube too.
YouTube.
YouTube
Obviously.
needs to come out with its own podcasting service.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job with the shorts, YouTube. I think you did okay. You've definitely worked out all the kinks that were in there
Like
at the
YouTube
beginning
podcasts,
that I'm aware of.
right? And then you'll just have all the podcasts set to. Yeah, that'd be sick.
And then that
sure
you don't need premium.
I'm sure
for
they're
it.
gonna start doing that eventually.
All right.
All right.
See you guys later.
Farewell.
Bye.